I'm joined now by Zachary Quinto and Chris Pine, Spock and Kirk respectively. Guys, thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having
Returning to the role of Kirk and Spock after almost nearly 4 years now, was it difficult to get back into character, and do you think the characters have developed in any kind of way?
It wasn't difficult getting back into it. We have a really good cast and crew, and it was like coming back to school after holiday break or something. For my character, Jim Kirk, in the first one, he was this kind of young, brash, self-assured man, and in the second film that we're peddling to the world right now, Star Trek Into Darkness, which everyone should see in IMAX and 3D or 2D, the character is much more vulnerable and much more aware of his fallibilities, and for a man who once thought he was so self-assured, to be in a place of self-doubt is very scary, very terrifying, and allows for a wonderful thrill ride in Star Trek Into Darkness 3D.
That was nice.
That was really I think, the first movie was about us all coming together. The second movie is about all of us being scattered and having to defeat this villain without the luxury of physical proximity at all times. And that was really exciting to me when I read this script. And I think our characters have really developed and expanded as well. In the first movie for Spock, I think he was really at odds with the duality of his human and Vulcan halves. And in this film, I think he's come to embrace his humanity a little bit more, and is more comfortable being witnessed in the vulnerability that's generated as a result. So it was exciting and thrilling to work from that perspective, which is a little bit different from the first time around.
The on-screen relationship between the two of you is, it's very adversarial. You're almost at loggerheads all the time. Is it like that in real life?
No, it is not like that in real life. Chris and I really see things pretty similarly, both in our lives and in our work, and I think relate to each other really easily and support each other and are good friends. And we're different people, but I really do feel like, as Kirk and Spock are, in many ways,
Two halves of the
same whole, or two sides of the same coin.
two halves of the same pair.
God.
It's okay. It's okay. I thought that was a good analogy.
Okay.
That was quite cool. For Star Trek fans, it really is just such a huge point in their lives. It's such a cultural institution and stuff like that. But for people outside the bubble, what do you think the appeal is? How is it that it's lasted almost 40 years now?
Almost 50.
50?
I think it really has to do with the fact that it's a series about a collection of people, a group of people, a family. And I think people enjoy, especially in the world of James Bond and Batman and Superman, where it's one man against the world, this is a collection of individuals and people. And I think Roddenberry's vision in the beginning, at the foundation of it, is an absolute hopefulness for the future and for humanity. And in the late 60s, they have a collection of people on the bridge of the Enterprise, including a white man, a half-alien, African-American, Japanese-American, Russian, all in one place where they wouldn't in real life normally exist. I think it was a tremendously visionary, tremendously positive, seriously, vision of the future. And I think it plays now probably more than it has ever before in a world that is so divisive, where we oftentimes find ourselves trying to kill and destroy one another. To have this vision of the future, I think, is fantastic.
Just to say as well, I know you've kept in touch with Leonard Nimoy from the original series, and you've kept on a good relationship. And I know your dad worked with William Shatner in the 70s, didn't he? You did on Chips, I think, wasn't it?
I don't know if Bill was on.
I think you're thinking of T.J. Hooker,
but
right?
He was. He was T.J. Hooker, but
I know that's what I mean. But
yeah, so it was like a 70s show. But have you talked to William Shatner about the new role, or?
When I first got the role 5 years ago, he sent me a really lovely letter and was very kind of warm and welcoming, me and the rest of the gang into the fold. And subsequently, I've seen him a couple times, and the last I saw him, we made a documentary together that he produced and called The Captains. It was all the collection of the captains of the former incarnations of the Enterprise, and that was a lot of fun.
Cool. Zachary Quinto, Chris Pine, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Man.
Thank you. Captain on the bridge!
Lieutenant, we have an open channel, Mr. Spock.
The heat's frying his comms, but we still have contact.
Spock!
I have activated the device, Captain. When the countdown is complete, the reaction should render the volcano inert.
Yeah, and that's gonna render him inert.
Do we have use of the transporters?
Negative,
Not with these magnetic fields.
I need to beam Spock back to the ship. Give me one way to do it.
Maybe if we had a direct line of sight, if we
Hold
got
on,
closer.
wee man. You're talking about an active volcano, sir. If that thing erupts, I can't guarantee we can withstand the heat.
I don't know that we can maintain that kind of altitude.
Our shuttle was concealed by the ash cloud, but the Enterprise is too large. If utilized in a rescue effort, it would be revealed to the indigenous species.
Spock, nobody knows the rules better than you, but there has got to be an exception.
None. Such action violates the Prime Directive.
Shut up, Spock. We're trying to save you, damn it.
Doctor, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Spock, we're talking about your life!
The rule cannot be broken under any
Spock! Try to get him back online.
90 seconds to detonations.
Spock over here and I were there. What would he do?
He'd let you die.